Some things are easy to take for granted. 90% of homes have this magic box that can heat something up within 1 to 2 minutes. Heat, which originally derives from fire, has to be generated through coals or wood or even through gas. It became as simple as a touch of a button. I want to talk about how in 1946, Percy Spencer accidentally created this button, and it completely revolutionized the way that we cook in the modern era. The inventor's grandson has quoted his grandfather Percy in saying that there are no challenges, there are simply goddamn problems that need to be solved. See, Percy, he was self-taught and self-made. He grew up in early 20th century New England. His family was very, very poor. He had no formal schooling, and according to the National Inventors Hall of Fame, Spencer was born in Howland, Maine, and orphaned at a young age. Although automobiles and electricity were foreign to him, he had a natural curiosity for engineering. Percy's work history reflects his passion. The Titanic actually inspired him to join the Navy. Soon after World War I, Percy worked with Raytheon, and they're known for their work on the Manhattan Project, missile development projects, and even electromagnetic warfare products. By World War II, he was one of Raytheon's most valuable and well-known engineers. He was the lead developer in their radar division, and he was the company's go-to problem solver. Percy earned several patents working at the company, but his biggest one was yet to come. His biggest one being the microwave. And it was a complete accident. Percy's main work involved finding more effective ways to mass produce radar magnetrons. What's a radar magnetron? It's instead of vibrating sound like a normal radar, this vibrates electromagnetic waves. And at the time, he was focused on improving the power levels that were going to be used in these radar sets and these magnetrons. Now, faithfully on that day in 1946, Percy wanted chocolate. He had a chocolate bar in his pocket, and while testing the magnetrons, he stuck his hand in his pocket only to discover that peanut cluster bar had been completely melted. Curious from the discovery, he ran more tests. He, funny enough, put an egg in it, and as you know what happens when you put an egg in a microwave, it blew up in his face. He also discovered that popcorn can cook through this microwave. And right then and there in his lab, the world was never the same. Because every day we take this accident for granted. The microwave itself took a while to catch on, but a year after his discovery, the first commercial came out, resulting in dud sales. According to the New England Historical Society, it actually weighed over 750 pounds and cost as much as $3,000. See, but Percy was a problem solver. He continued to shrink the technology and made it cost effective. So in 1967, 2 decades after its invention, it found its way in American homes. And 3 years later, in 1970, Percy passes away. And by 1975, over 1 million units were sold annually in the United States. We're talking about a man who grew up hunting with no education, and this man modernized cooking. Before the microwave, what was the last truly kitchen invention that was truly impactful? The only way we used to heat up food was over direct heat or on a stove top or boiling or baking, all time-consuming endeavors. For a man whose reputation was fixing problems, I'd argue that he changed the problem of cooking time forever. When I wake up hungry, I put frozen food in the microwave and I start eating in less than 2 minutes. When Percy Spencer woke up hungry, it took him upwards of God knows how long to finally prepare a warm meal. And this is the legacy of a man who, while on the endeavor to change the world in one way, accidentally changed it in another. And I'm grateful because the footprints of this orphan who grew up in New England, who reached new levels of intellect and prestige, those footsteps are the ones that Percy left behind, and they are impossible to follow. And I'm just glad that he was the one that could pave the way. The microwave. Thank you, guys.